Hey everybody, it's Ethan McKinley and it's episode 14 of the 2-Minute Terminator. We are going from minutes 24
Isn't that how old you were when you lost your virginity?
By what?
I'm a virgin. Sorry. Are we recording? Yeah, we are recording.
Yeah, we are recording.
What episode are we on?
We're on episode 14. We're going from minutes 26 to 28. And, yeah, hit the music.
Yeah, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Load up.
You didn't do the fourth.
Thank God. It sucked.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
The 2 minutes we're talking about is minutes 26 to 28. It begins with the T-1000 vacating a mirror. And it ends with Sarah Connor discussing, knowing about the T-1000 and explaining it to Kyle Reese, bizarrely.
And knowing who Kyle Reese is.
And knowing who Kyle Reese is.
She does it in the James Bond way. She goes, Reese. Kyle Reese.
This 2 minutes basically... Ooh.
When you do that with an open mouth, it makes like... Boop.
This 2 minutes is the 2 minutes that... I'm just going to keep saying basically, I can't help it. Covers the last part of the department sporting goods scene where the T-1000, played by Byung-hun Lee, chases Jai Courtney's over-muscled, overpowered Kyle Reese and two beat cops who were also in the department store because they knew that he would be in there. Ellie.
Ethan.
We both have questions, we both have notes. Let's get on with the show.
Okay, so first question. We see the T-1000 shank the cop with his spear arm. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'd been the T-1000, all I would have done would have extended that spear arm just a little bit further and I could have kebabbed both the cop and the and Jai Courtney.
Don't you have to consider mass ratio though? Because whatever he sticks further out of his body has to deplete it from somewhere else.
He would have completed his mission in 0.1 second. Whereas as it is, he stabs the first copper, misses Kyle completely. The other copper, who has taken ages to actually react to the fact that some dude has got an arm that turned into a shank and just killed his...
Well, he's slow and it's convenient to the story because, midway or mid to the end, 2/3 through the clip, when Sarah comes breaking through the windows with an armoured car, he comes running after them like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, no, I'll come on to the T-1000 slow speed in a minute, but I was actually talking about the copper, because all that happens and the other cop just doesn't do anything, and then all of a sudden starts shooting him. If your copper buddy had just been murked, Ethan, what are you looking at?
Trying to find the cast list of the uniformed cops actually in the department store for Terminator.
You're trying to do the unsung hero thing.
Unsung heroes. The Derelict, which we mentioned in yesterday's clip, was Thomas Francis Murphy, of course. I'll come to him briefly because it fills some airtime. Well, we didn't cover him and we kind of went, oh, I've forgotten his name. He plays Chief Jim in The Same Kind of Different as Me, which is a 2017 film. Abattoir, he plays a homeowner. Old Man / investigator in The Camera Store, which was this year, 2016.
Oh, he's still going?
Yeah. He's just bit part roles, basically, but he seems to work quite a lot. The Whole Truth, he played a crime technician. The Keanu Reeves, crime thriller. He was a hustler in Focus, so he plays lots of hustlers and down-and-outs and type people. So, Thomas Francis Murphy.
So in other words, he's typecast. You look like a hobo, so we're going to put you in this film as a hobo.
No, I mean, if you... where is he? Let me just show you a picture of him, Ellie.
I'm a virgin.
I'm a virgin.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.
No.
There he is.
So he is ginger, so that's why he has the ginger beard, but then the white hair. Why not just give him a long ginger beard or dye his beard?
Why not just have him as himself and not have the long hair? Because they go to the trouble of trying to give him the long hair and beard, like Stan, whatever his name was, the Derelict in the first movie, but then he kind of he's acting.
He doesn't put the same passion in his lines as the other guy.
Because when the punks are on, at least that guy is trying to do an approximation of Bill Paxton, kind of.
Who was that guy? It's just rubbish. Get rid of it.
Well, that guy's like, hey, bud, did you see a robot?
Another question about the T-1000 in this particular 2 minutes. He spends all his time paying all attention to one of the cops. He doesn't really seem to pay much attention to Jai Courtney at all. So much to the fact that Jai then knocks the other copper to the floor. Again, I didn't understand why. And then they both run. I don't know how Jai would have run so quickly with his hands handcuffed behind his back, because I'd have thought that'd be quite difficult.
Well, he kind of like headbutts the cop out of the way.
Why does he
which
do
would
that?
knock him off his feet as
Why
opposed
would
to
he
like
do that?
moving him along. I don't know.
But why would you give a shit? This cop just tried to... Well, he's cuffed you and he wanted to take you in. Like, why would you even bother?
I couldn't
And
agree
so then
more.
they run across the shop floor. Not that far, I thought, and yet when the T-1000 starts approaching, obviously he's miles away. They then hide behind a counter. So they're trying to hide. They're trying to make their location and hiding place unknown. So why are they shouting at each other?
I don't know. It's well, the T-1000 also is
It's
only like 20 feet away.
It's not known. It kills people.
Why-
It's a robot. Why are they shouting at each other? They're giving away their location.
Well, again, it's like it's movie plot holes, isn't it? I mean, T-1000 really should have
movie
instantly
poop.
killed Kyle and just come pegging around that display counter and just kill both of them. And he had a gun as well. He like kind of deliberately missed them. Maybe the only thing I can think of in order to get to Sarah Connor, maybe the T-1000's waiting for those two to make contact because he kind of.
So did the T-1000 know that Sarah was going to burst in?
I'm not sure about that. It's just strange as what. This is the thing. Like, it's strange what his mission actually is. Is he trying to dispatch Kyle because he'll be a hindrance to his mission when he kills Sarah? Because I guess maybe Kyle doesn't know where Sarah is anyway, so they're none the wiser. So it doesn't really matter that Kyle survives or not. So he's not trying to like track him and
Does
wait.
Skynet know that Kyle is John's father then?
I don't know because I think only Kyle. I mean, John Connor in this iteration of Terminator only knows that Kyle is his father because he's like. Only he knows, and he kind of goes, "Oh, look, well, I didn't know this would be here." When he finds the time equipment or whatever, and then he's like, "How do you know all these? How do you make the moves before anyone knows it?" He's like, "Well, I cheat.
So why do the baboons have big red butts?
I share the bitches what time it is."
I
Why
love
has that baboon got a giant blue ass? That's how he shows the bitches what time it is. Yeah, sorry guys, I can't find the two cops in this.
Ethan, just forget the cops and stop with the dead air. Come on, I'm pulling my weight. Pull yours.
Okay.
Do it in the next episode. You love talking about things that aren't in the right
Out of
clip.
sequence. Well, actually, Ellie, let me tell you and the listeners
Let me
this.
tell you about Smiles.
This is Paramount Studios' first film in the Terminator series, obviously released by Paramount and made by Skydance. James Cameron had first approached Paramount in 1984 with the Terminator, and they were interested, very interested. However, the only stipulation for them taking on the film and producing it would be James Cameron was not allowed to direct it.
What?
So, as this was his kind of like pet project, his baby, if you will, he wanted to direct the film. He turned down Paramount's offer. By the same token, at the end of this scene, Sarah Connor actually arrives with her nubby little arms. Sorry, Jim, we don't like her.
Cannot stand Amelia Clark. Sols. Not
The
sols.
phrase "come with me if you want to live" is spoken in all 4 Terminator films previously. Kyle Reese in the Terminator, the T-800 in Terminator 2, Arnold playing the good protector Terminator. John Connor, Christian Bale says it in Terminator... Sorry. Start again. John Connor, played by Nick Stahl in Terminator 3, says it. Kyle Reese / Terminator Salvation, which is obviously the late Anton Yelchin, he said it. This entry marks the first time when Sarah Connor uses the dialogue.
It's just the first time a female uses it.
Yeah. It's said by Sarah Connor in the trailer, and as I said, it marks the 5th consecutive time this line, or a close variation to it, has been used. So there we go.
Use me, Roy, use me.
Well, actually, the first reprogrammed T-800 in the second film, according to these notes, but I don't remember him saying this. This is the Edward Furlong version of the character. John Connor says, "Do you want to live? Come on." I don't remember him saying that at all, do you?
No, not at all. Does it
Arnold
say when?
says, "Come with me if you want to live." Then he says he's here to help. To try and, I guess, reassure or console the Linda Hamilton version of
Yeah.
the character, but I don't remember John Connor, the Edward
No.
Furlong version,
Does
saying
it
that.
say which scene?
No,
Who writes the IMBD stuff?
IMDb.
I do.
Well, it's a bit like Wikipedia that anyone can write what they want.
Oh,
And
really?
I
So
don't
it could
think-
just be horseshit.
The people that actually monitor it are also the fans. So unless an eagle-eyed fan has spotted that, it will get left in. So there's loads of even on the Wikipedia things, there's redactions and corrections and stuff all the time. So who knows?
I've got a weird lump under my chin.
Do you? Do you, Charles? Do you?
Yeah, look.
Whoa. Lymph nodes.
It's really solid. Sorry, just found a weird lump under my chin. Yes, anyway, back to this amazing scene. The small bullets that the cop is using, would that have caused such devastation to the T-1000's
I was going to say the
eye?
same thing. There's a theme here, even in the last scene when he was shot by, Kyle Reese when he emptied his gun into him. He seems to get kind of knocked back and dispatched. That really shouldn't affect things because he's basically like a big blob.
Yeah, I know. And also, why did he not fall over backwards like he did in the alleyway? He was still able to kind of keep himself upright on this occasion, even though he apparently got shot in the eye.
If I was listener fan James Spaldner, who knows a lot about the military and guns, he's
some kind of secret
he might
service.
say the caliber of the bullet might be the reason he kind of goes down like a sack, but that's a stolen gun off a cop already, so I'm assuming they're all assigned the same weapon. I don't know, maybe he kind of has more time to steady himself in this, or he's used to being shot at this point in this new time, so his body, like the Borg, he assimilates to it.
Okay.
Maybe.
But then all the other bullet marks, the roses. You know the rose effect?
In the second one.
Yeah. So when we see the T-1000 get hit with these bullets, they're all really, really small.
Yeah.
And then he gets hit in the face and he looks back and all of a sudden there's this huge metal rosebud that then turns back into his eye. Again, it's not consistent.
No.
Why would that have caused so much more devastation than all the other wounds?
No, and I think, again, because James Cameron's not
Because there was
involved
a
in
scene
this.
in Terminator 2, actually, when Robert Patrick gets shot on the eye, doesn't he? And there's the huge hole. Again, maybe they're just trying to relate it back to the original.
Well, that was obviously it's a showcase for their effects as well, really, because he kind of turns around and goes,
What does he do when he turns around?
wags his finger. Well, yeah, they're replicating the same shot when he turns around and he's got the eye. They're kind of doing that, but again, you really could 28 days later. The
See,
T-1000
he goes down, picks up. Why not just chase after them at that point? Doesn't make any sense. And also, when the T-1000's shooting the guns, and when they finish, he just loosens his hand and just lets them drop. Again, I don't think that's something that a Terminator would really do.
Yeah, but when
I'd have thought that once a Terminator finished it, it would literally just throw it, as opposed to just.
But why expend the energy in throwing it when you can just let it go and keep walking? When it's run out of bullets, it's of no use to him.
Because speed should be of the essence here.
No, I think that's
He's
fine.
just really
I
slowly
just
walking
think,
and then just slowly drops this gun and then it's the whole slow.
I don't know why he's shooting his gun for one,
If he was a
because
zombie, I'd understand.
why would he just not run around the counter, just shoot them both and then hack them to pieces? He runs out of bullets just shooting at the counter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, imagine if he was a machine, he'd be scanning things and he'd know exactly where they were. And it's a bit like that Raiders of the Lost Ark thing when they kind of run away from him. Then they get beyond the counter, which looks like 15 feet away. And then he's like walking through the shirts and jackets and like all the coat hangery kind of the sporting good clothing section really slowly stalking like Michael Myers. And I don't know, he's kind of... I don't know. I just don't think they're making the best use of him. Again, probably not the actor's fault.
The way he acts, it's almost like he's a zombie. It's very slow. It's that kind of, like Michael Myers in a way, who's like a freak of nature. It's that, but I think Michael Myers does it a lot better.
In the first film, Ellie, Sarah, Reese tells Sarah that he had to wait for the Terminator to move in on her before he could spot it, indicating he did not know what one of the Terminators looked like that was sent back in the original James Cameron Terminator in 1984. And further indicating Terminators can look different from other Terminators, not that they're all production line like a make of cars, which is kind of what the law became eventually, because Arnold had to be in every film. Here, when he sees Guardian, which is actually in the next scene, I've done it again. in the truck, he immediately freaks out and tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Now, Sarah has already told him that they took care of the Terminator sent to kill her. So when Kyle Reese sees Pops rather, who looks identical to the Terminator lying on the floor of the van, he naturally assumes Pops is also a Terminator.
Pops.
But again, he wouldn't have seen a Terminator at this point.
This is true. This is very true.
I've got a cock up for you, Ellen.
Cock up. Bing!
When they pull out and drive away from the sporting goods store, there's a Camaro parked outside the store.
Yeah.
As Sarah backs the armored truck out, and as the what are you doing?
Messaging.
Okay, well, basically the Camaro is a 1993 to a 2002 model. We know this, of course, because the wheels are from a fourth generation Pontiac Firebird from that time period.
Yes, amazing
1993
car.
to 2002. So it's not the 1984 Firebird.
Love that car.
Do you though?
Yeah.
Do you, Charles?
Do you?
Do you love the car?
Do you, sir? Do you, sir? So
Amelia Clarke appears.
Sarah Connor. I was literally about to say we first see Amelia Clarke. What do we think of Amelia Clarke playing Sarah Connor? Go.
She looks Hamilton-esque. I suppose her accent's good. I think Airport Min Jim, who was on a couple of weeks ago, he said her accent was pretty good. I'm not sure if he's biased because he kind of liked Game of Thrones and he's really into
I think he's just really
the
into
Dragon
her.
Lady.
Yeah. You've got cold feet. Okay, so this is meant to be the 80s, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't look very 80s.
Would you like a belt on my Coca-Cola?
I would love some of your Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola?
I feel like they could have done a better job on the Chewbacca mullet. Get some body back in that hair, love.
Yeah, why don't you have the Sarah Linda Hamilton wig?
Exactly. That's what I would want to see.
Which is only one,
and her floppy oysters just kind of like...
It's only
Slopping
like
out.
one mark down from the Jareth wig in Labyrinth.
Oh my god, amazing.
That and Mel Gibson and
Oh my
Patrick
God,
Swayze
yeah,
and Roadhouse,
yeah.
they're the four best mullets of the
They
80s.
all rock those mullets. They are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Swayze, God bless you.
I don't know, as I said, like in a few episodes prior to this, Alan Taylor directs this, of course, and he did lots of Game of Thrones episodes. I can only assume when he came on board, I'm not sure which way it would work out, whether he was cast first as director and then wanted Amelia Clarke, or Amelia Clarke was attached to this, and then she was like, we should get Alan to direct this. He's done all my favourite Game of Thrones episodes. I'm not sure.
Were there any other women considered for Sarah Connor in this film? Have a look whilst I talk about my next point.
Well, no, I have
done?
notes
What
on
have they
that.
done to Amelia Clarke's lips? Because I swear they're not always that big.
No, they're always that big.
Really?
Yeah. That's what she looks like. She's kind of...
When she's in the car and she's talking, her lips look huge. I've never noticed Amelia Clarke's lips ever.
Really?
Never. Maybe it's because I don't find her attractive.
Yeah, she doesn't really do it for me either.
But yeah, they just look...
I think she's quite
it's
plain.
coming
I
up
think in
now.
Game of Thrones she's got this look, so that's
It's because she's got white hair and she has dragons. That's pretty damn cool. I command dragons. Yeah, so when she's talking right now, her lips look absolutely massive. I was like, really?
Yeah, I don't know. She just seems.
There you go. Look, it's the top lip. It's almost like it's curled over.
I think the issue I had with her in the film really was her height, because I think when she's next to Jai Courtney, who's
She looks
enormously
tiny,
tall,
doesn't
she looks
she?
even smaller, and I think it kind of like I think they could have done.
Because you met her in real life, didn't you? And you didn't even realise it was her.
No, because she's just so like nondescript. Not in a bad way, but there's nothing kind of like.
So you said she used to do the stuff that you do. Did she work for Cellar?
Twist.
Ah, Twist. I see. So the bar company.
Yeah.
So she did bar stuff.
Well, waitressing.
I see. Yeah, she used to work for the same company that Ethan is contracted to at times.
Yeah, me, like a bunch of my cohorts, past, present, and future. They employ lots of actors, and we work like swanky events, basically. And Amelia Clarke was one of the employees. Outlander Sam Hewen was also one. There's a bunch of people, but they're the two ones I remember.
You see, I'm looking at her lips in these photos, dude, and her top lip does not look that big. No. They've done something to her mouth in this film. The top lip, at least. Because her top lip isn't always that big. I mean, that looked huge. I don't know.
Another point, when she hits the T-1000, does a piece of him break off and stick to the truck or the end of his sword and spike?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
he puts kind of a tracking beacon or a part of himself
Exactly.
and moulds it as the kind of hinge on the back door.
So I wonder what part of him depleted and remained depleted.
I can only, because it's not very well telegraphed, you only see it kind of merging as the actual kind of the hinge, I think, on the back of the truck. So I don't think he makes contact again with the truck, does he? Let's watch it again. Here we
Okay,
go.
so he's running. So why is it all of a sudden now he's running?
She does a handbrake. Dude, come on, I don't know. There, see?
Yeah, he didn't even touch it.
I can only think, because his swords are out, I think the sword breaks off in the truck.
And then it just transfixes to the back.
Transfix, is that the right word? I don't know. Has one of his swords been broken?
If you're transfixed by
So
something.
he goes there, he
Usually
sticks
when you're
it.
looking at something, actually.
Yeah, I think it breaks off, I think. But I don't know. Well, they're
Come
both,
with me if you want to live.
both
Cheese.
both his sword arms near the end of the clip are the same length. And I don't know. I just think
I do not like the fact that she delivers that line.
they didn't convey it. And also, when he runs after the truck again, he looks like he's running backwards. The CGI is not kind of done well if you watch this bit now.
Yeah.
That run, unless I'm going to, again, be an apologist for whoever did the effects, they might be trying to recreate that kind of run that Robert Patrick did,
Yeah,
because
I
it was
thought-
early CGI. It's got no kind of weight to it.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So when he
what you mean.
takes a step, the body doesn't look like it's moving properly. It just kind of glides like he's on a running machine.
Yeah.
I
Or
think
water.
I think it's just a mistake, because there's
It's all a mistake.
well, he looks like he's backwards, but then he runs forwards. But it's not. I've looked at it. It's not like a cool effect. He was turned away and he just broke into a run, and the front of him merged out the back, and he went like perambulated forward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. But how do you feel about the fact that Emilia Clarke says, "Come with me if you want to live," and then she goes, "Come on, soldier." For me, it's such a cringe. I don't.
What's
like
happening
it.
to you? Because when we saw this at the movies, you really liked this film.
No, I do, but I don't like Emilia Clarke. Throughout the whole thing, I said I do not like Emilia Clarke. I like it when Arnie gets into it.
How could they have improved this film, Ali, for you?
Different cast.
All right, beyond that, but story-wise, what is the story lacks than anything?
Do you know what? I don't think it's so much the story. I mean, the skewed timeline, but that's kind of been throughout all of them. I think with this film, it's the lack of the lack of atmosphere. There isn't music in the right places. The cast are terrible. I really like
Terrible as in miscast or bad
miscast,
acting?
and Jai's acting is terrible. I'm just not a big Emilia Clarke fan. I didn't like the choice of actor for the T-1000. I thought Arnold in it was great. I really liked Arnold in this.
Why?
I thought his performance was really good.
Why?
I kind of like the fact that he's that bit older. It kind of made me think of my dad.
Here we go.
Oh god, here we go. Just saw the light in Ethan's eyes just leave.
He's got this weird fixation on old men.
Yeah, and you've got a weird fixation on young girls.
No, I just think that's the
No,
public.
I could admit to it. I have a weird fixation with old men. Ethan's convinced
No,
that
no,
I have
no,
a
no,
weird
no, no.
penchant for my
No.
father.
No. I just think you no. I think a lot of women like older men, but I think when people think of older men, and even young girls like older guys, you always think of someone who's maybe 35 to 50. But you kind of go super deep, and you're like, oh no, 60s and 70s.
Oh my god, when has the
I'm
figure
not
70
I'm not
ever?
because Arnold's 769 or 70 now. Next year, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't bang Arnold now.
You would.
You really think I would?
Yeah.
I probably would actually. No, not 70. No.
All right, maybe you wouldn't.
40s, 50s, 60s at a push, but
All
you'd have
right.
to look bloody good.
But I know, but I don't think. I'm not saying you'd commit to it physically, but I think there's an aspect of that you find very attractive. I don't know why.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't, because I think if you actually, because I've said this, haven't I? I've dated someone who was kind of 40, and when you hug someone or hold them, that youthful vigor isn't in the body anymore, unless they've taken spectacularly good care of themselves and they're kind of some amazing CrossFit woman. And it's the same for men as well. I'm not kind of like singling out ladies.
No, because when women get old, I think they're a lot more squishier than when men get old, because women naturally carry a lot more fat, and women obviously have breasts and they've got bigger butts, although definitely not in your case. But I've been spoiled because my dad exercises. His body is incredible. All the old guys that my dad coaches at the gym, they're all old, but they're all in incredible shape. Ethan, I hang around with you and you're in really good shape. So yeah, I have been spoiled.
you.
The old men that I have around me are all in really decent nick. In fact, they've probably got better physiques than the guys that are actually my age.
But beyond saying that, like I said, you have an attraction. Not saying you don't go there or commit to it, but you kind of like that kind of like weathered old man.
I do. I don't know why.
That Sam Elliott
If
slash. See?
It's like you never see a dog's back leg and it's, I don't know, the whole silver fox thing. I remember I was at an antiques fair with my dad once, and there was this dude who walked past, and yeah, he was definitely in his 50s, and he just had this silver hair, and he was just so hot, and we both literally stopped and just looked at each other, and then as we walked off, we were just both still staring at each other. My dad was just like, oh, Ellie. And there's me like holding my dad's arm. That must have looked pretty dodgy anyway. But yeah, I
mean,
don't know.
death starts with your hair. So, like, someone with silver or grey hair
Maybe something about death turns me on.
just means, like, the
I think
body's
as well.
dying, right?
I think as well with yeah, but men get better with age.
Do they though?
Yes. Look
Have
at
you
you when
seen
you were. Look at you when you were 20 odd. Definitely not. Look at you 20 years later. Definitely yes.
Okay.
Plus, when you see like an older guy, you're just like, I don't know. In my head, I just think, oh my god, just he's done so much. Like he has so much experience. Think of all those women he's been with. Oh. I don't know. I just like old men. Soz. Ethan pondered as he picked his nose.
Come on, that well,
with his flies undone and the button.
Well, you know.
He likes to do the podcast in comfort. They're all the notes I had on this particular 2 minutes, Ethan.
Okay, well, I think we'll leave it there. Well, no, let me just come back to how you could improve this film. So you don't like the casting of Jai Courtney. I think Byung-hun Lee perhaps isn't given a chance to shine as the T-1000 because he's dispatched.
The music in the beginning was great, but now it's just fallen. I mean, there's all this action going on. Like I said in the scene where Jai was hiding in the shop, there was no suspense. Like the sounds just aren't that great.
We talked about something the other night that had really amazing sound effects. I said Gary Rydstrom did the sound, and he did the sound for Jurassic Park. Oh, and the T-1000, he created the T-1000 noises to hear that like that sharp.
Go on, do it.
Shing. No, that's Wayne's World. Swing. It sounded like someone was polishing a knife or a blade. It was like
two blades are like gliding off each other.
Like the super sharp edge of something like sheer
Super
and
sharp
smooth
shooter.
and what is it? Sleek.
Now I'm thinking of Tom Cruise in the last bloody Samurai.
Favorite film
Oh,
ever.
for God's sake! That score is absolutely incredible.
Why?
It is so good. That score can make me. It goes from giving me goosebumps to like putting tears in my eyes to being like, yeah, I could go and fight
Why
a battle
that one
right now.
over other soundtracks though?
I don't know. I think because the story itself was so like.
Really, I never really like. It's okay. It's not a bad film. It's good. But
I
it's
know.
just
I
like,
liked it. I
it
think
wasn't
because
so profoundly moving. It was a bit flat for me. I think.
no, I think
Not the
because
soundtrack, the film itself.
no, I think because the fact
he
that
had
it's
lovely
a
hair. That was it.
I think because the fact it's a true story.
Is it a true story?
It's
though?
a true story. That's what happened.
I'd love to go back and actually look at the story behind some of these
I
films.
just thought it was a very heroic film. I thought it was. I mean, that bit at the end when the guy, you know, he looks out across the battlefield and he actually has some empathy for human beings as opposed to I just want to win this war. And the bit with the cherry blossom and that really melancholy music that Hans Zimmer does so brilliantly.
What was the cherry blossom bit?
Is it the Fall of the Last Samurai?
It's just called The Last Samurai.
No. The actual in the score, you absolute knob face.
I don't know.
There's a particular. I think it's like number 8 on the score.
Okay.
Why is this funny?
Is this you being a douche and a nerd? It's funny. Keep going.
Don't do it. I just really like. I don't know. I really liked that film, and I thought the soundtrack was amazing. Really good. Real good treat. Anyway, we digressed from the sound of the slicing of blades against each other.
Well, as we progress through these episodes, we're going to keep coming back on what went wrong with this film and what works about it. I think more works than doesn't. So it's the best non-James Cameron Terminator film.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
it beats 3 and 4.
That is faint praise because it's like saying it's the prettiest TGI Fridays waitress out of all of them. They're all no good, but if you had to, this would be the one, I guess.
Yeah. I agree. It's the one that feels, compared to the other two, the most like the original.
because the first 10 minutes is kind of the original.
Yeah. And plus Arnold Schwarzenegger at least is in this one, as he wasn't even in 4.
Well, he was in 3, but he kind of was hamming it up because he was just doing it for the money, I think. He wasn't really invested in doing it.
His heart and soul was not in it.
Pardon? But yeah, if you enjoy the show, thank you. We'll return tomorrow. And if you want to watch the clip as we discuss it, we actually put all the clips on as we talk about on a loop. Mystery Science Theatre 3's
I can't claim any
K-Star.
credit. It's Ethan that does it all.
As we watch the film. So if you actually want to watch what we're talking about as we talk about it, please go to 2-Minute Terminator on YouTube, and you can actually watch, I think, coming up to 300 shows now.
300?
On YouTube, yeah. And there's all kinds of little bonus goodies and stuff on there. Also, if you go to the 2-Minute Terminator page, please recommend it to your friends and invite them to like the page. It's got the best and biggest collection, I think, beyond any of the Terminator fan sites. I'll have you know, Arnold. I think it's got the best collection of photographs, behind the scenes, posters, toys, everything. The 2-Minute Terminator page on Facebook. And if you would please, everyone listening, go on 2-Minute Terminator on YouTube. The artwork is incorrect. I'm trying to get it corrected. There's an administrative quirk with YouTube, and they've actually got my other podcast as the artwork. I'm trying desperately to change it. However, if you go to 2-Minute Terminator on iTunes and leave us a lovely star review and say something nice about it, it does help the show grow.
Just
and
before
reach its
we
audience.
go,
Yes.
I've just noticed that as Sarah Connor is shooting the T-1000,
She's writing a review to 2-Minute Terminator.
No, the way he's moving, he's walking like Mick Jagger. He kind of does this jaunty, I've got semi-broken legs, Bambi on ice kind of movement. But yeah, anyway.
That's Mick Jagger.
Hasta la vista.
Baby.
Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.